Hey class, welcome to week 11. Today is Wednesday. I'm coming to you to talk about a few things going on in the class. I'm going to talk about the team-based family project that you guys have coming up due. I'm going to talk a little bit about, I'm going to talk mainly about that actually. I'm going to talk a little bit about substance abuse treatment, comment a little on the quizzes, and then sign off. So here's what's going on. So with the team-based family project, you guys have been working in groups over the course of the semester and posting in your forums a bunch of the weeks to talk about your family and how it relates to the different community resources that we have discussed in class. So along the way, you've thought about how your family relates to Social Security and Medicaid and all of these things. So the final project is the group project that has you putting all of these recommendations together into sort of a family treatment plan. So in a sense, you've been working on the project little by little each week. But now comes the time to sort of put it together in a cohesive document and have everything sort of aligned in a treatment plan that is consistent and specific. I don't have a rubric up on the Moodle page right now, but I will throw something together, hopefully by Friday. But this is sort of how the rubric will run. It'll be very simple. Out of 100 points, I will have 80 points devoted to the services. So it says on the instructions that you're supposed to focus on at least 8 services, and they being, Social Security, medical, integrated dual diagnosis treatment, family services. So you basically have to address at least 8 of these, and I will give you, I'll sort of give you 10 points apiece based on, how complete and thorough those answers are and how they relate to the resources we've learned in class and the psych rehab overall. And then the remaining 20 points, 10 of which will go to be awarded for just overall cohesion and quality of the paper, and 10 points will go to spelling, grammar, and APA. So make sure all of your references are in a reference list at the end if you are linking to websites and whatnot. You also, as you know, should be working as a group. There's sort of a rough outline in the instructions about, a suggested approach to that in terms of assigning people to take different areas, reviewing what your classmates said each week and sort of incorporating that as well as my feedback and putting together a cohesive plan for each of the areas and then sort of passing it around to be commented on. And then having somebody kind of put it all together and make it one uniform document. So any questions, email me separately, but I'm looking forward to reading those. I had a good time putting together some of those families. I helped Professor LeBrere and I kind of collaborated on creating those, so it was an enjoyable part of the semester. The county resources. I wanted to talk about the forum real briefly from last week where we were talking about self-help centers, self-help programs, and family programs. I did have a bunch of feedback on the community resources for your county. I don't normally, and I posted just a little note on that. If you have not gone back, I think that most people I had asked for, either a follow-up question or to kind of expand on a resource. Please kind of check back and take a look at that. And if you haven't commented, even though it's a couple of days late, please do so. It's better than not, following up at all. I won't grade that forum until next week. So, although try and get them in sooner than later. Typically they are due by Sunday, but I had asked my questions, I think Saturday or Sunday. So if you needed a couple more days, that's okay. All of those county resources that we've been listing will go towards your county resource manual, which is the other major assignment left due at the end of the semester. So I'll probably be putting out a video in future weeks talking a little bit more about that as we get closer to the deadline. So also we have a quiz this week. I think this is our fifth one. Last quiz, I didn't really put out a video detailing any particularly troublesome questions. I think most people did fairly well on that quiz, and I hope that people continue to do as well on this one. So the quiz will be open starting midnight tonight and run through Thursday, Friday, and end midnight on Saturday. Midnight, I guess, starting Sunday. Other than that, just wanted to talk a little bit about substance abuse integrated dual diagnosis treatment. I really think the focus should really be on integration, and that's where we're moving to as a community. It's been slower than I thought it would be. The chapter this week talked about the merger of the Division of Mental Health Services and the Division of Addiction Services, and that happened a number of years ago, and you still see quite a division in some instances. So I think we'll get there. I just think it's taking a little bit longer, and I think I don't know, it's hard to explain. Some senses it's a political, it's at the political level in terms of certain agencies and services having long-standing contracts and being reluctant to collaborate, I think, for fear of losing funding or having funding shifted. It's almost like a turf battle, which isn't the way it should be, right? So I really think integration is key, and I do have a lot of promise for the future with substance abuse treatment more effectively being integrated with mental health treatment. The other thing I will say that's sort of a positive for having not a segregation, but sort of people that have substance abuse as their background stick together is I've noticed I was the team leader of the MICA program in partial care at Bridgeway, and so people would come there, and that unit was for people that did struggle with, that had a mental illness and a substance abuse issue, and the people in that unit really formed a bond that the rest of the program didn't share. The things that were talked about in those groups were of, I think, in some ways a more sensitive nature, and for the most part, people were very aware and respectful of that. And I think it in turn formed a closer knit community, a real tight camaraderie of people that were able to garner support from one another, more so than the average community mental health program, in my opinion. So that's a really cool feature of the population that is in recovery for substance abuse issues as well as mental health issues. They really kind of, at least from my experience, have a bond that is hard to describe. And I think that's why peer providers in that service are particularly effective. They just relate to people that have been there before. So that is my video for this week. Look forward to talking to you in future weeks. If I don't get a video out early next week, probably look for one right after Thanksgiving. Have a great holiday. Keep up checking with your forums and working together as a group. Take care, guys. See you soon.